Hey there, Virgo. This is Chronic Joy Tarot, and we're doing the general soul guidance for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And if you're new to my channel, thank you for showing up. And just know that the way that my readings go, this is not really a reflection of or a prediction of your life. There's no, we're not talking about others in your life as much as we are your own self, your soul, where it is now, and what you can focus on in order to develop and grow and expand in your experience. There's different styles of reading, and mine just happens to be that. More intuitive, more internal, and more about you than anything. Okay? If you're not new to my channel, thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. Thanks for coming back, and let's get going. So let's see. The way that I do a reading is I pull an oracle card, and then we expand on it with the Zen Tarot deck. So the oracle deck that I'm using for this month's readings is the Native Spirit deck by Denise Linn. It's a beautiful deck, and the card that I pulled for you, Virgo, is the Shapeshifter. So I love this so much because this talks about being flexible, being able to shift your perception a little bit to create a new experience, to create a new way of experiencing your life. And I love this for you because although you're an earth sign and sort of grounded and steady and dependable, you're also a mutable sign, which means you do know how to go with the flow. You do know how to shape-shift, if you will, right? And adapt to situations as they change and arise. You can, if we let go of our attachment to our identity, that with which the way that we want to present ourselves, or the way we want to be perceived, or labels that we give ourselves, mother, father, teacher, student, happy, stubborn, whatever those labels are that we buy into. If we let go of those, you can sometimes free up space to experience and go through things in a new way. If we put ourselves in another person's shoes or begin to imagine how another person might feel, say that this is like during a conflict and you are used to knowing what your values are and just sticking with those, and this is how I've always done it, this is my moral code, this is right and this is wrong. And instead of that, think about all the nuances. Well, this other person might be feeling this. I wonder what it feels like to be in their place, even in this conflict. That creates an entirely new experience. It opens up your world to be able to really let it in, let life in, right? So let's see what the Zen Tarot cards have to say about this concept of flexibility, shape-shifting, going with the flow. The spread that I'm using is called the tree. I made it up. It's starting point here. We have internal energies and external manifestations, or the way that it shows up in our day-to-day world. And then we have the key to moving forward, and then sort of the result of moving forward and expanding on this ability to stay flexible, to go with the flow. Okay? So your starting point, Virgo, is the Miser. So yeah, this is sort of this woman is kind of clinging to her riches, clinging to all that, and if we're talking figuratively, all those things that I've learned and gained and all the things I know, I'm going to cling to that because that has served me to this point, right? There is a sort of a contracted quality to that. I wouldn't say completely stuck, but definitely a limited quality to that miserly, gripping sort of energy. So let's see what we can do to open that up, because really, it's in kind of contrast with the shapeshifter card. It's kind of saying, okay, where do I go from here? Because I want to learn to be more flexible or what have you. Okay, and this could be in general, in the way you generally show up, or this could be a specific situation. Perhaps you find yourself in conflict and you're feeling stuck and you're feeling like I can't show my full heart because of how I may be perceived, or we don't know. For each of you, this could be something different. For most of you, this could be just a general sort of template to put in your back pocket and use later when you find yourself in a situation that has you feeling contracted. Okay? So going from contracting to open and flowing, right? Internally, this sort of the miser card internally is supported by the Beyond Illusion card. I love it because this talks about metamorphosis. This talks about shifting, literally shape shifting, right? That's a literal equal affirmation of the original point of the reading. And in addition to this, so it's kind of telling us that any way that we choose to look at things is only one way. And it really is all an illusion. If we are, let's see, let me just try to come up with a quick example. So if we are in a group of people and half of them are saying yes and the other half are saying no, right? Well, they all may be right. We want to say, oh, this half's right, this half's wrong, or but they may all be right. And within the group of yes people and within the group of no people, there may be a myriad of reasons that brought them to claim yes or no, right? It's getting to the point where the way you see it, oh, they're in opposition. Well, maybe not. Maybe they're all right. Maybe there's a middle area where it is yes and no. And that we can do a deeper dive to find this commonality that we all have. All of this perceived, especially with this miser card, feeling a little bit stuck or clinging or grasping to what you've always known, that's an illusion too, because there's more to it. And this card, in addition to just the energy of transformation, and this is happening within you, it also has the third eye kind of highlighted, which is your intuition. So your ability to shapeshift, right? And to really tap into that space within you that knows more is possible, that knows there can be change, that is going to guide you, further into just a space of feeling more free than, and the opposite of this miser card, feeling more open, more willing to give, more willing to receive what comes, right? It's just a shift of perception. Okay? And then in your external world, what this creates is a real sense of knowing your abundance. Look at that. This guy's really living it up. And abundance comes in many ways. The first thing we always think of is financial, but life has riches in every way. In our connections with others, in our ability to see others for exactly who they are. There's a richness to that. Just in nature, there's so much abundance. If you just sit and be in this world and on this earth, you can see the sky itself is full of abundance, right? There becomes this realization and this real freedom, sense of freedom when we shift, when we literally become more flexible. Okay? Moving forward and continuing to gain awareness of the payoff of letting things go and letting things out and being able to be in the flow of life, right? The key to moving forward is this card here, friendliness. Okay, I love it because these two trees seem different. One's yellow, one's pink. They are standing firm in their own place. And where they meet, the yellow and the pink become orange, right? Even in the roots. But if a wind were to come and blow all those, you know, so there's commonalities is what we're saying between the two. There's commonalities and there are points of connection between you and anyone else, between you and another, between you and your past self, right? It could be anything, but the concept is standing firm in your truth will always keep you open and available to another, as long as you're, you know, where these trees intersect, they're not clinging to one another. Like if the wind were to blow away these leaves, you would see where they intersect, but they're still rooted firmly in their place. So this creates more of an open heart, a state of acceptance, right? So that energy of accepting others exactly where they stand and exactly how they are is not conceding to give in to their way of being or becoming like them. That's not the key. The key is to stand firm in your authentic self and allow others to do the same, right? That's going to be the key to really developing. Well, that is kind of the perfect definition of shapeshifting or going with the flow, is knowing that I am solid in who I am, and anything anyone else does or says is theirs, and it's fine. It's okay. It doesn't have to have an effect, doesn't have to uproot me, right? Okay, so moving forward, we've got these three cards, these three cards on this level and then the outcome card up there. So let's see what we've got here. So really mastering these qualities here, this card of letting our authentic self out more, showing our riches, right? Creates a better internal transformation, and then literally creates more richness in our external world. And then learning to let it all be as it is, as I stand firmly in this place that I've established, learning to let it all be as it is. This creates this higher level sort of understanding, starting with the letting go card. Letting go of maybe stuff that you've held on to from the past. This is an emotion-based card, so it's letting go of feelings about another, or feelings about a situation, or feelings about your own self and how you've perceived yourself up until now, but now you're realizing you're developing, you're shedding, you're letting go of old perceptions so that you can grow into your true authentic self at this time. And internally, you're getting it. You can kind of take an assessment of the path and the life that you've led. This is all within. So this is maybe in your meditation or in your quiet time alone. You're getting that, you know, I have been a shapeshifter all my life, because look at the road I've traveled. I've gone high, low, into fog, into sun. I've gone down into the valley and swam in the river. I've gone up on the top of the peak of the mountain. I've been stuck in the forest where I can't see where I am. You have been, right? Life has thrown at you so many different scenarios that you've needed to be able to be flexible. Maybe without an awareness of it, but now that you're beginning to become more aware of your authenticity and your ability to stand where you are and accept what is, right? It's funny how we think we're controlling life. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Today my schedule is this and that. But life, there's a billion other things happening at the same time. Life is always happening, and we don't control that, right? Like I said before, just stand in nature and see. Watch how the leaves turn color and then fall from the tree, or the birds come and create their nest and then lay the eggs, and then the new bird is born. That is life constantly happening without any input from us. And most of the input and the way we think we're applying our energy to life and the way we think we're controlling things, most of that is our minds telling us that, right? It's really not. The control we have is very limited. And learning to stand and allow life to come to you and allow new experiences to come your way so that you can make decisions on where to travel next, right? Learning to be in full acceptance that life just is, there's a freedom to that. And that will create, and that letting go and learning that will create your ability to have a better relationship with your mind. Instead of having it control your actions, you can have a more solid, like this rooted tree, presence, and allow and observe your mind, right? In meditation, we say that a lot, that what we're doing is sitting back, resting back. The thoughts are there. Our thoughts never stop. But we can take a position of a more grounded, rooted, internal place, that spot underneath it all, that is your true authentic self. And you can take that position and just sort of observe your mind and then realize a lot of my thought patterns are just that. They're habits. They're patterns. Learning to shift your perception just from where you sit creates a more authentic self, and it creates better connection with others because you're in more acceptance of what is, of exactly what is, right? You have this unique ability, Virgo, especially at this time, to really tap into this process. Like I said, you are very grounded, yet you are a mutable sign. You have the power to develop this. And then the insight, the outcome card here, is the compromise card. I'm taking this as in the important things, in that rooted tree. Don't compromise yourself. Be your authentic self in everything. Now, in life, from day to day, we have to make compromises, right? Every step we take, there's a compromise, right? If you're going down the road and you want to turn left and there's a car coming, you could speed up and try to go in front of it, but you're going to just say, yeah, no, I may be in a hurry, but I'm going to wait, right? You relent, you kind of set back. Just every action, in interactions with others, we have to compromise sometimes. But if you're coming from authenticity, if you're coming from that rooted tree spot, that who you really are, then you realize I don't compromise my innate self. And that is the way to really connect more with others, which seems counterintuitive, but it is. And as you're developing this and following your inner guides and allowing what comes to you to just be there, even if it's, this shapeshifter card can be in response to something, sudden or traumatic or painful in your life. But that is just the road of life, right? That's that traveling card. That is what life is. There will be more steps ahead. Even in this moment of pain, there will be more steps ahead, right? And that's the sort of gentle yet strong presence that we're trying to achieve here. That's what allows you the flexibility to move through life, is that awareness that what life brings me, I accept. I accept it, and I move through it with more grace. Okay? All right, dear Virgo. I love you guys very, very much. I'm so glad that you're here with me, and I will talk to you soon in the next reading. Okay, take care.